Hi guys, welcome again. Markin, the dentist. Today I'm going to show you something about digital dentistry again. Today I'm going to show you how fast and easily design a vertical crown in Exocad by using intraoral scan, which I get from Medit intraoral scanner. So let me just start. I have divided my screen into three parts. On the biggest one, you are going to see the Exocad, which I am running right now. On the left top of the screen, you will see my keyboard, on which I am going to show you what I am pressing when I am pressing some keyboard shortcuts, and on the right top it's gonna be me that you can see that it's really done by myself. Okay, so here you got Exocad launched. You have three tables here: project, job definition, and actions. You can load the project or you can start the new one, which I am going to do right now. Then you have to choose the client. The client is going to be me. Then you need to type in the patient's name. So we will call it test crown 36 because I am going to design crown on the tooth number 36. You can, but you don't need to choose the technician, so you're not obligated to do it. Here you can add some notes if you need them in the future. Now you can choose what you want to do in a job definition table. We are going to choose tooth number 36 because this is what we are going to design today. And we are going to design the first option, so anatomic crown. The other options I'm going to talk about in upcoming episodes. And now you have to choose the material. I'm going to mill it from zirconia, so this is what I'm going to choose. Here you can also choose the milling machine type. I got 5-axis machine. If you have 3 or 4-axis milling machine, choose this option because the program optimizes it probably differently for manufacturing. Here you got options and parameters. We have no implant based crown, so we choose no. We have our pre-op model, and we didn't scan gingiva separately, so we choose here as no. Here you can choose your minimal thickness. This one is optimized for zirconia 0.6 millimeter. Here you can choose the gap width of cement. I use 0.1 millimeter here. This is important because different milling machines probably will need to choose different parameters. I think those parameters, so 0.1 millimeter gap of cement is pretty good for my machine. If those settings does not work with you, just add or remove some of value here. We press OK, and we are back in job definition. We click 3.7 because this is the adjacent tooth, as you can see. OK, and 3.5 are also adjacent too, but you don't need to get into this table of content as previous. Just press Ctrl and press on 3.5, and the program will choose the last chosen option for this div. And again for 3-4 control left mouse button, and here we go. On the upper arc we choose antagonist, we press OK, and we can also press Ctrl and choose the teeth that we want, or we can press Shift and go up where we want to go with the selection, and left mouse button, and the entire arc is marked as antagonists. Now we need to choose scan mode. In this case I am going to operate on digital impression scan, as you can see. So I choose this option, and now when I have everything chosen, I need to press save button because the program won't let me to go any further. When it is done, we need to press design to start designing the crown. Sometimes we can start with model creator. In this case, I just start with designing. Okay, now the CAD application has launched, and we need to choose the scans that we are going to work with. I got them right here. So first, as we are working on lower arc and designing lower molar crown, and the program wants us to load lower jaw scan. So here we go with it. You always have to wait a little until it's loaded. And as we mark that we want to use the pre-op scan, we also need to load the pre-op scan. And right after that, we are obligated to load antagonists, so the maxilla scan. Very good. Now the program wants us to define the orientation of the scan because it is unknown. So we need to place our scan. So we are looking on the occlusal surface of the teeth. Let's say that it will be alright, and we press next. Now the program will let us to modify scan positions. I mean adjust the pre-op scan position into the scan. In fact, in Medit scan, everything is adjusted perfectly, so you don't need to do it, but sometimes your pre-op scan can be orientated in different position. So you can whether adjust it manually, or you can use points which you mark on the scan that you want to move, so the pre-op scan and the scan you want to have adjusted with pre-op. You need to mark at least 3 identical points on scans and click perform alignment. The program will adjust it more accurately. After that you can place best fit matching, and it will also repair it a little bit, but in fact I don't need to do it, so I just skip this step. Now you have a possibility to modify your scan a little bit. What I mean is, sometimes you have holes in your scan, just like here, and sometimes they are interrupting, sometimes they are not. In this case they are not, but I am going to show you how to repair it. You just press your mouse, left button. When you are finished, press left button twice. The area is marked. You press close holes, and they are closed. You have to be careful with this function because Sometimes it does not work as you like, but I think it's sometimes useful. When you remove this marked area, press none. Okay, now let's say that you want to remove some excesses from the scan data. So again, left mouse button, you move the area you want to mark, and then left button twice, it is marked, you press delete, and the area is cut out. Okay, now as you can see, I have this kind of artifact here, which, let's say, interrupts a little bit, and I would like to do something with it. I can cut it out, but it can be not so accurate. So I think for me better option is to get into export mode. As you can see, press right button and click freeform scan data. Now you have a possibility to add something to your scan by pressing shift. To remove something to your scan, you can adjust the strength of the brush, you can adjust the size of the brush. When you press Ctrl, you remove. When you press nothing, just mouse, you add. And you can also smooth the edges or some other parts, and this is the option I'm going to use right now. I will reduce the brush size, I will reduce the strength, I will use good orientation not to interrupt my prepared area, and I am going to smooth a little bit the gingiva artifact. Okay, and I go back into wizard mode. As you can see, we got our scans prepared for designing. We can click next. The program will ask us if we want to move the meshes because they are intersecting each other, and this is normal because when the patient bites and closes his or her mouth, the teeth are gonna move a little bit due to the occlusion forces, so that's why the meshes are intersecting each other, but it doesn't matter in this case, in fact, so I just use the function don't modify scan data. Now you need to mark the margin line of your preparation, and this is the most time-consuming part when you design a verti crown, because the program won't detect your margin because it's not there. If you had your crown prepared with the bottom, you will need to just mark 1 or 2 points on the edges of your preparation, and the program will detect the margin line by itself. But in case of verti-crown, you need to do it manually, because the program will have problems in finding the margin line. So you just choose the option correct draw, and you move the points as you wish your margin line should look, pretty easily. In fact, it's easy if you have good quality of your scan data. If not, it will be not so easy. So you want to always have good quality scan data, and this is always the question: should you scan on the same appointments, or maybe after a couple of days, some say 2 weeks after preparing to have your gingiva healed? As you can see, this scan is done right after preparing, vertical crown preparing, and you see not a single drop of blood in here. This is because I use for my retraction no retraction cord, no Teflon tape, as some of people recommends. I use laser, and diac laser in fact in this case, and as you can see, everything is very well coagulated, not carbonized. This is a big difference: coagulated, not carbonized, with not a single bleeding, not a single even liquid from the pocket. Everything is perfectly scanned, even underneath the gingiva. So I think the option with retraction with laser is the best one you can have. You don't need to invest in such an expensive device as mine, as in the diac laser. You can use a simple diode laser. You will have the same result, but when used properly. Okay, we have our margin here detected. We can click next. The program will generate the crown bottom, and now we are able to adjust some parameters. We can mark where we want to have the gap for the cement, and where we want to our crown strictly touch to the to our teeth. This program Exocad is created or dedicated to design crowns with a little step here, so the no cement gap area here is at the bottom, but with vertical crown you need to change it. So on the edges you need to add the space for cement, in this case 0.1 centimeter, because we need to let the cement to get out from the crown during cementation process. And our crown needs to lay somewhere, so we set this area on the top of the teeth as the one with no cement gap. So our crown won't get any lower than we designed. Also, we are choosing the width of the border: horizontal 0.3 millimeter, angled I choose 0.5 millimeter, and the angle I choose 65 degrees. In fact, this is too much, because 0.3 and 0.4, it's 0.7 millimeter of the width of your margin, so we'll have overhang over there, and this is because of there is no milling machine will let you to mill your crown with a sharp edge. So you need to set it a little thicker, and you need to in a post-production smoothen it to make it sharp as a knife with your bar. So we do it manually when your crown is ready. You need to remember about it, because if you set it like here, your crown will be destroyed by your milling machine during milling process. So this is very important if you don't want to redo your job. It's better to do it manually than start all over again. Okay, we click next. The program will generate the crown bottom, and on this step you can choose whether you want to copy the teeth. So you mark the teeth you want to copy, just like this. The program will generate the copy of your teeth that you can use to create your new crown. You can also use a mirror function, which works the same, but it creates you a mirror of the teeth from opposite side, and you can use it, as you can see. But in fact, I don't like how those teeth looks, so I'm skipping this option and I am loading the teeth from the library. You can have a different libraries to Exocad. There are tons of them, as you can see. But I like this one here in this case, so I don't change anything. If you need some additional libraries to your Exocad, just let me know. I will try to help you. I have this additional option, TrueSmile. I like to use it, so I switch the view to TrueSmile. But if you have only basic version of Exocad, it will look like this. Okay, and now you need to place the teeth in the correct position. What you want to do is to on this step place it as good as you can. As you can see, when you press Ctrl, you will rotate. If you please press Shift, you will scale a little bit. So I'm looking at this teeth from different orientations, and I am trying to place it in the best possible position to have as less as possible intersecting areas and as less as possible areas that are not thick enough. And because in the program then, on the next step, which I will show you right now, try to adapt the teeth to your bottom, and if it's not if the program has too much to calculate, sometimes you get ugly shape and you have to adjust it manually. It is sometimes pain in the ass. Now we have our crown, first version of it, and we want to adjust it as it should be. And we have 4 options here. In fact, we use 3 of them with this free forming. It is similar as we freeformed our scan, so we can add by pressing Shift, we can remove. Here we can smooth and flat, and here this is anatomical, so we can move our cusps, entire tooth parts, or the ridges. So let's say that I have here the cusp which is too high. I just choose this option and I move my cusp a little lower. I also think I just destroyed something. Wait a second. Okay. I just think this cusp is a little too high. Also this one. So I make them a little lower. And as you can see, you have these areas a little too high. because they are intersecting with antagonists. So you can get rid of them on two ways. First, also cusps or tooth parts moving up or down, or you can, I think, three ways. The other option is choose remove, shift, and remove a little material from the occlusal surface. And the third option is in adapt mode. Choose occlusal, cut intersections, and the program will remove by itself. Then you can smoothen it a little bit. Okay. Another option you need to use to go further is proximal, because if you don't use it, check it out, you try to press next, the program will tell you that you need to do it. So we need to adapt to adjacents. So this is this option. We choose cut intersections, the program will automatically remove too much material from it. Okay. I would like to change a little bit my crown here, a little bit here. Okay, now again I will adapt it intersectal and occlusal. I will switch off the view of the jaw, or the mandible in this case, and I choose the smooth and flatten option, and I smooth the margins and in fact entire surface of the new designed crown. If you want to make it a little thinner, you can also do it like this with this function. Okay, and in fact our crown is almost ready. The last thing I check is I turn on the view of the antagonists. I use the cut view function and I check how my crown looks occlusally. Sometimes, like in this case, you can see that it can be better contact here. So what we want to do is to make our cusp a little higher, as you can see, to have a better contact. Okay, we are switching the cut view off. Again, maybe I will smooth it a little bit. I will check the crown from different angulations. Sometimes, as you can see, maybe it is too lingual in this area. So I will repair it a little bit. And in fact, I think that we are done in this case, so we can go a step further. On this this step, you can adjust your teeth to the pre-op scan. So it will look like from before the preparation. I did not have this option because I had already prepared teeth when I started. A patient reported to me because her lost her crown, I think due to the low height of the filler here. So that's why I also decided to make the vertical preparation, and also with this additional retentive area here. But I don't have the teeth from before the preparation, so I cannot use this option. But sometimes when you have a nice anatomy and you want the teeth to look the same like from before you started, I think it's a very nice option. So just you then press adapt model teeth, and it will adapt your design to the pre-op scan, in fact. Okay, then we press next, and in fact we are done. We have our crown ready, as you can see here, and we can press I'm done, so the CAD will stop. You can freeform this restoration if you want. Sometimes if you want, let's say, thinner edges or you want to change something, you can do it. Or you can design your model to print, to have it not virtual but really, and to place and adapt the crown on it. I think I am done, so I am finishing. And as you can see, the program will have to calculate a little bit before it's closing, and your crown is here. So when you press open in Explorer, you will have your crown as the ready STL file, which you will be able to use to print or to edit or whatever you like, but still your crown is ready. So that's it for today. I hope it will be educational for you. As always, if you have any questions, just let me know. Take care. See you next time.